Good afternoon, everyone. In last lecture, we have seen the complex number. We have seen the polar form of complex number as well as some properties of complex number and De Morgan's theorem. In last lecture, we have seen the problems which are based on the application of De Morgan's theorem. Now, there are some more important problems which are also based on the application of De Morgan's theorem. And one of them problem is here: if alpha and beta be the roots of the equation x square minus 2x plus 4 equals to 0, then we have to prove that alpha raised to n plus beta raised to n is equals to 2 raised to n plus 1 into cos n pi by 3. So we solve that problem by using a De Morgan's theorem. We write down first the equation what we have given here. The equation is x square minus 2x plus 4 equals to 0. If you see that equation, it is in the form of quadratic equation. As we know very well, the quadratic equation, that is ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0. If that equation is in this form, then we know how to get the roots of that equation. In that case, we can get the roots by that formula, that is x is equals to minus b plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. So we have to use that result to solve that type of equation. Now if you compare that equation with that, so here the value of a is a 1, value of b is minus 2 and value of c is 4. Now we use that formula to get the roots, and therefore by using that result we have the roots of that above equation. We give it equation number 1, and the roots of that equation 1 is x is equals to, as here the value of b is minus 2, so minus of minus 2, then plus minus under root of b square, again the value of b is minus 2, so minus 2 square minus 4 into a, here the value of a is 1 and the value of c is 4 upon, in denominator 2 into a, again the value of a is 1, so 2 into 1, and now we simplify that equation. Here minus minus it become a plus, so plus 2 plus minus under root of minus 2 square, it become a 4, 4 minus 4 into 4, 16, in denominator there is a 2, x is equals to, we get 2 plus minus, here after solving that 4 minus 16, it gives a minus 12 upon 2, again after simplification it gives 2 plus minus under root of, if you factorize that, so it become a 4 into 3, and we know that the root 4 is a 2, so we take a 2 out of that root, and here is remaining minus 3 upon 2. As we know that root of minus 1 is a, again that 2 to get common from numerator and denominator, and here the root of minus 1 is nothing but I. So here we write after the simplification that 2 from numerator get a common 1 plus, here the root 3 and there is a minus, so the value of that minus root 1 is I. So we write 1 plus root 3I, that 2 get common from that two terms, in denominator there is also a 2, here is a plus minus, so again we write here plus and minus both side, 2 to get cancel, and finally we get 1 plus minus root 3I. So in this way we get the two roots of that equation x minus 2x plus 4 is equals to 0. One root is a 1 plus root 3I and second is a 1 minus root 3I. Now we give particular name to that two roots, as here we have given that alpha and beta be the roots of that equation. So one equation we consider that let alpha is equals to 1 plus I root 3, and second we consider beta as a 1 minus I root 3. Now if you see carefully that both the roots alpha and beta, here alpha is 1 plus I root 3, again it is in the form of complex number. Complex number is x plus iy. and second beta, that is 1 minus I root 3. Again it is in the form of complex number x minus I root 3. So initially we consider the first root, that is 1 plus I root 3. Its value is alpha, so alpha is equals to 1. And now we take a polar form of that complex number. As we know that the polar form is in this way, r into in bracket cos theta plus I sin theta. Now if we separate the real and imaginary part of that two terms, as it is in the form of x plus iy, so here we have to write down, as we have taken the polar form of that number, so we can write the value of that r and theta. We have to find the values of both r and theta from that complex number. As we know that r is equals to under root of x square plus y square. If you compare that number with a complex number, it is in the form of x plus iy. So here the value of x is a 1. So r is equals to 1 square plus y square. Here the value of y is a root 3. So root 3 square is nothing but a 3. So we write here under root of 1 square is again a 1. 1 plus 3, it is a 4. That is a root 4. And root 4 is nothing but a 2. So in this way we get a value of r, that is equals to 2. Second, we have to find theta. That r is called as a mod of complex number and theta is a amplitude, and we know that theta is equals to tan inverse of y by x. If you compare with x plus iy, here the value of y is a root 3 by x, value of x is a 1. So that is simply tan inverse of root 3, and tan inverse of root 3 is nothing but a pi by 3. So in this way we get the values of both r and theta, and now we put both that values in that equation. So before again we can apply the power n on the both sides. So that above equation can be written in the form of alpha raised to n is equals to 1 plus I root 3 raised to n is equals to, when you apply the power n on both sides, so it gives r raised to the power n, and here is a cos theta plus I sin theta raised to the power n. Now we apply here the De Moivre's theorem. So by the De Moivre's theorem, you can use the result of that theorem. So by using the result, how you can write? You can write alpha raised to the power n, that is equals to, here is a r raised to n, and by using that result of De Moivre's theorem, that n comes in the multiple of that angle cos and sin. So it can be written as cos of n theta plus I into sin of n theta. So in this way we get alpha raised to the power n, and similarly we can find beta raised to the power n, as we get the alpha raised to n, and now we find beta raised to n. Now second root we consider, as we have beta is equals to 1 minus I root 3, and again we take it polar form. Its polar form is nothing but a r into in bracket cos theta minus I sin theta. Again they have the same value of r and theta, so we write here beta raised to the power n. Here is a r raised to n. Again here is a cos of theta minus I sin theta raised to n, and therefore by the De Moivre's theorem we write the result, that is equals to cos of n theta minus I into sin of n theta. You can write that by the De Moivre's theorem. Now in this way we get the two values of that alpha raised to n and beta raised to n. Suppose we give it equation number, that is your equation number 2, and that is your equation number 3. And now we add that 2 and 3. So 2 equation 2 plus equation 3. So what that imply? That imply that alpha raised to the power n plus beta raised to n that is equals to, here the value of alpha raised to n from equation 2, that is alpha r raised to n into in bracket cos n theta plus I sin n theta, then second beta raised to n value r raised to n into in bracket cos of n theta minus I sin n theta. Finally we can simplify that. If you see that r raised to n is a common to both the terms, so we take r raised to the power n common and we can add the remaining term of bracket, so we get cos n theta plus I sin n theta, then plus cos n theta minus I sin n theta. Now as I sin plus I sin n theta and there is a minus I sin n theta, so both the term get cancelled and that cos n theta get add, so it can be written as 2 into r raised to the power n into cos n theta. And we have already find the value of that r and theta, that r is equals to, we have find that r is equals to 2 we have get, and theta is equals to pi by 3, so both that value we put in that result. So finally what we get, that alpha raised to the power n plus beta raised to the power n is equals to 2. Here the value of r is a 2, so 2 raised to the power n, and then cos n, the value of theta is a pi by 3. Now if you see here the power of 2 is 1, here the power of 2 is n. If you add as the base are same, so we can add the power, their base is a 2 and here the power is 1, here the power is n, so it can be written as n plus 1 and here the term is cos n pi by 3. So in this way we get the result, that is alpha raised to the power n plus beta raised to the power n is equals to 2 raised to the power n into cos n pi by 2. So we use that result or find that result by using the De Moivre's theorem. Okay. Again we see one more problem which is again the base on that De Moivre's theorem, and that is again the same as the previous problem. As you can easily do that, I will give it for your homework. What is the problem? That is 1 plus cos theta plus I sin theta raised to n plus in bracket 1 plus cos theta minus of I sin theta raised to n is equals to 2 raised to n plus 1 into cos of theta by 2 raised to n into cos of n theta by 2. Here if you see that two terms, again it is in the form of complex number, 1 plus cos theta as a x and sin theta as a y. So again it is in the form of x plus iy, and that second term is in the form of x minus iy. Raised to n, here is also raised to n. Again you have to apply here the polar form of that both the terms and you have to get the result. You do as a homework. If you have the query, then you can told me that query, I will again solve that problem. Don't get that. And again we see one more problem on that type. And here is a 1 plus I raised to the power n plus 1 minus I raised to n is equals to 2 raised to the power n plus 2 by 2 into cos n pi by 4. If you see that two numbers, again it is in the form of complex, 1 plus I and second is a 1 minus I. So we consider the first number here, that is 1 plus I. As it is a complex, so we write its polar form, that is r into in bracket cos theta plus I sin theta. Now as there is a power raised to the power n, so we consider here 1 plus I raised to the power n. Again we apply the same power on that side, so r raised to n cos of theta plus I sin theta raised to the power n. And then before applying the De Moivre's theorem, we find the value of that r and that theta. So as we know, r is equals to under root of x square plus y square. If you compare that number 1 plus I with x plus iy, so x is equals to 1 and y is equals to 1. So it is a 1 square plus 1 square, and we know that 1 square is nothing but again a 1, and again here is a 1, so 1 plus 1 will become a 2. So the value of r is here root 2. Second, we find the theta. Theta is nothing but a tan inverse of y by x. If you compare with x plus iy, here the value of y is a 1 and the value of x is again a 1. So tan inverse of 1 by 1, and we know that tan inverse of 1 is nothing but a pi by 4. So here the value of theta is a pi by 4, value of r is a root 2. And now we consider that term, that is 1 plus I raised to the power n is equals to r raised to n. Here is a cos theta plus I sin theta raised to the power n. And now we apply the De Moivre's theorem. So by De Moivre's theorem, we write that 1 plus I raised to n is equals to that r raised to n remain as it is. But here you apply the De Moivre's theorem, that theta is in the form of multiple of that n, so it can be written as cos of n theta plus I into sin of n theta. Similarly, there is a second complex number, that is a 1 plus I. So we can write that second complex number, that is a 1 plus I, 1 minus I. As you concentrate on that number, that 1 minus I is nothing but a conjugate of that 1 plus I. So similar values for that 1 minus I, we get the similar values of r and theta. So 1 minus I raised to the power n, we can write here r raised to the power n, and here is, as it is a conjugate, there is simply change of sign, that is cos n theta minus I sin n theta. So in this way we get both the values of 1 plus I raised to n and 1 minus I raised to n. Again we give it equation number. Suppose that is your equation number 1, that is your equation number 2, and we add that equation 1 plus equation 2. What that implies? That gives 1 plus I raised to n plus 1 minus I raised to n, that is equals to, now when you added the LHS, here we have to add the RHS. So if you see that both the term r raised to the power n is common, so we already write here common r raised to the power n, and we write the first bracket, that is cos n theta plus I sin n theta, then second term plus cos n theta minus I sin n theta. Again if you see, that is a plus and that is a minus, so that's I sin n theta term get cancelled and that cos term get added. So it can be written as r raised to the power n into, there is a 2 times, so it can be written 2 cos n theta. So we finally write 1 plus I raised to n plus 1 minus I raised to the power n. Now we put here the value of r and the value of theta. As we have already find, the value of r is nothing but a root 2, value of theta is a pi by 4. So that can be written as root 2 raised to the power n. Here is again that 2, and here is a cos of n. Theta is nothing but a pi by 4. Now we simplify that root 2 is nothing but a 1 by 2, 2 raised to the power 1 by 2, and that n. So the total power of that 2 is n by 2, and here is again the power of 2 is a 1. So it can be written as n by 2 plus 1 into cos n pi by 4. So finally when you simplify the power, it is nothing but, when you take a cross multiplication, here is it become a n plus 2 into 1, it is a 2, and upon 2. So 2 raised to the power n plus 2 by 2, and here is a cos n pi by 4, and here the LHS is as it is 1 plus I raised to n plus 1 minus I raised to the power n. And in this way we prove that result, that 1 plus I raised to n plus 1 minus I raised to n is equals to 2 raised to the power n plus 2 by 2 into cos n pi by 4 by using a De Moivre's theorem. So in this way we have seen two problems which are based on the application of De Morgan's theorem. Thank you very much.